All right, we are starting. So today I do not have a guest speaker, but I have some very exciting things to talk about. So I would kind of start with some small talk and like to figure out where everyone is at right now. I am in Las Vegas where it ranges between 105 and 120 degrees. So I think I was sick probably for a couple of days. I think it was a little, I don't know if it was a heat stroke or not, but it is pretty it's a lot hotter than I would think to handle. Hi Lisa, how are you doing? Where are you coming from? And so I'm in Las Vegas. If everyone wants to go ahead and note where they're from. All right, coming in from Kenya, Washington, Sean from Washington, David's in Vegas. Hey man, let's have a coffee or drink. I'm more of a liquor drinker. Atlanta, Georgia. Joe is from Ecuador. Kevin's from Toronto. Joe is from, he just said Joe Shield. Oregon. Christy's from Oregon. DFW. Trey is from DF. I don't know what DFW is. We have Tina from Texas. Thank you very much. Ganesh, greetings from Atlanta. I'm from Atlanta. I've been in Atlanta for 20 years before I moved over here. Um, Mark Gamble from Colorado, another LinkedIn user from Maine, joining from Austin, Texas. Victor from Atlanta. Oh yeah, Victor, we had a call last week. We have Chris from San Francisco. All right. And then Dr. Jose says, what's going on, people? That's what I'm saying. What's going on? Uh, we have Sweden, all the way from Sweden. And that's Matt's Jorgensen, Jorgson. Sorry. Colin from New Jersey. We got Texas in here. Texas in the house. A lot of Texas. Dallas, Fort Worth. Aaron and Trey from there. And then we have Joe Shield from Ecuador. We have Andre from Romania. And DFW is Dallas Fort. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that. Thanks, Kevin, for the correction. Okay, so today's event is going to be pretty interesting. We're going to talk about a daily process, and I'll show the guide. And we'll also talk about Scoop and how we can integrate Scoop. Scoop allows you to do instant video. It allows you to convert a lot better and a lot of cool stuff. But we will not get through every little detail of that because we have a very short amount of time. So we'll have a little more high level, and the questions that come in, I'll go ahead and try to answer them as soon as I see them. So let's set up a couple of ground rules here. So please feel free to engage in the comments. And there's a benefit to that. If you engage, I'm picking one person to get a free forever license for Scoop. It's a $600 thing a month. No, a year. That's 600 a year. It's a savings of $600 a year, and one person will get a free license. The other people who want to use Scoop on this event, I'll give them, if they want it, a free full version for 30 days and a discount moving forward. And so that's actually pretty interesting. So you get to use it, and you can cancel it before the 30 days if you don't want to use it. You don't see value in it. And there are 4 keywords, and I'll repeat these when we get to those points. But the keywords that you want to type into the comments, if this is of interest to you, is I want Scoop, and Scoop is SKOOP. The other keyword is LinkedIn guide, because we will be giving away this LinkedIn guide. The third is meet Troy if you need a one-on-one. And the fourth is the next event. The next event's really cool. It's kind of continuing on what we're doing here, because there's going to be a lot of things that we're not going to cover here. All right. So the first thing I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to go back to this area here, is actually share my screen and just talk about LinkedIn in general. So LinkedIn it has about 1 billion members on it. and a large portion of those members are active daily. I think it's 12.5%, if I'm correct. I might be off a percentage or two that are active on it daily. And I think about half of the people are active at least monthly. So you have to think about a billion people. If you're doing looking for a job, if you're doing B2B services, LinkedIn is the place to be. However, it's not that easy. LinkedIn does not make it easy for you to actually do things and convert. And part of the problem is not LinkedIn, it's really us. LinkedIn is designed the way it is for a reason. They don't want you to spam and they don't want you to convert based on spam. So generally, LinkedIn is designed as far as I see it and far I use it for B2B services, they're designed for high value conversations. So if you have a high value service, but that requires to build a relationship. So no one's going to give you 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, or $20,000 a month unless they understand who you are and they trust you. And because a lot of times they haven't met you in person, and of course, person networking is the best thing to do, you have to build that relationship online and then take that from a conversation to an online meeting. So it's you have some face to face interaction and go from there. But the problem is there's a long life cycle depending on what you're offering. And so you have high value services, and then you have services that are low cost, like Scoop is an application that we built in our company that filled a niche, and we saw that LinkedIn direct messages were not getting conversions very well, and this solved that problem. It also solves a lot of other problems. I don't want to get into it for time's sakes, but we do have training and live training and all that stuff for Scoop, and even this guide, if you want to meet with us later. Oh, I see a lot of people typing in LinkedIn guide. Scoop LinkedIn guide. David wants everything. And this the LinkedIn users type meet Troy. Could you do me a favor, because it's just saying LinkedIn user, it's not having a name. um Lisa, can you reach out to that person and go ahead and give him my booking link? So anyone that says meet Troy, just give him the booking link in the chat to avoid confusion. And the others will go ahead and reply to you on a direct DM. Now, in order for me to send this to you, I have to be connected with you, or I'll try to send an email. And so, Lisa, if you can, add my profile link. And so, for one action, I invite you all to do is send a connection invite and to say, we met on the event or whatever it is. That way I can accept your connection to send you a message, say, here's the guide. Here's the code for the Scoop application, or here's the training link that we have a live training on, or consultation, or whatever it is. So that'll make life a lot easier. Feel free to go ahead and do that. So Lisa, if you could add my link to my LinkedIn profile so people can send a connection request. If you're not, I'll try to send an email, but it's kind of easier for just connected on that. But when you send a connection request, put a note on it to say why we connected, because I may not accept you if I feel like, I don't know about this person, but you say we met on the event. I say, okay, I'll go ahead and accept it. All right. So let's get to it. Let's get to the new guide. So this guide, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. And this is the first time I'm doing this. So, it works this way. That's pretty cool. So let me reverse this, where this is the dominant one. There you go. And I'm the recessive. So I'm going to try to zoom in on this. And I'll get to 150%. And can everyone see this document? I want to see if they can see the words on the document. I just want to make sure, because the first time I'd used this in this way for that. And I'm going to check to look at the chat. Was everyone able to see the words on that? I'll go ahead and switch it over so you can take another look. And there is a 10-second delay, so I'll go ahead and check. All right, so can you guys see the words on the template? Just make sure it's readable because I have to switch back between these connections. These people are still acting for the guide. All right, got it. Little larger. Okay, perfect. That's what I wanted to hear. I'll do a 200%. So this guide has already, the previous versions have already gotten about 20,000 downloads. And so I started this guide because a lot of individuals don't know what the heck to do on LinkedIn. Now, I'm not saying you're slow or anything. You're probably very advanced in the area of what you're doing, but maybe not so much on LinkedIn. And we have a version 4.2 is the newest one. So uh, the issue really is, how do I get a lot of work done or a lot of impactful work done in a small amount of time? And right now, I can't see the questions, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll stop and then look back at the questions. And so, if you have only X amount of time during the day, you have to really think about, okay, I have 1 hour in a day to do all my LinkedIn tasks. Maybe it's only 30 minutes, maybe it's 90 minutes, but it's about having a repeatable task that compound interest in a very positive way. So whether it's 30 minutes, 60 minutes, or 90 minutes, you want to have that time blocked out on your calendar. So if you block it out on your calendar, you're guaranteed to actually do the work. Unless you just don't pay attention to your calendar, then I don't really know what kind of business you're doing. So previously we switched it up per day and a section per day, but this guy kind of goes through it. There's going to be a video that kind of walks you through it and all that stuff. We have a um, a booking link that we have for Scoop and for day-to-day process training. This is free. So I dedicate some time on Tuesdays and Thursdays for that. If you want that, just go ahead and ask for training, the word training, and I'll go ahead and send you the link. It's live. We go through whatever processes and problems that you're having, how to set up Scoop or how to set up your day-to-day process. We talk about systems. How can you mix in outreach that has a little bit of volume and a lot of personal interaction. And so the first thing you see is a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And there's a lot of things you can do, and you can add your own stuff to this, but it's not meant for you to do all the stuff. It's really meant to say, I want to just do these few items. And this is the time that I have to do these few items. And you'll end up just deleting. That's the idea. End up deleting it and just have the day-to-day process for the items that you need to do. Now, Monday could be the same as Tuesday, or it could be different. And a lot of times there are a little bit of differences. So if you are doing your daily process on a Tuesday, you might want to look at the sheet and see what's available. But let's go through a couple of primary things. And I'll go through these pretty quickly, and they're described right here. And this looks like it goes to 2 pages, but once you get the list down, these will be 1 page. So because you'll be removing the items that you don't want, and it'll get smaller. So what I'll end up doing is sending you a link to this, and just let you know that, hey, this is the template. Just download it as a Word document or a Google document. That way, everyone can get a hold of that. So let's go and figure out what these are. Okay, so again, these are just average time spans that these things should take. And again, do not do all the stuff. That would be insane unless you have a whole team. If you have a whole team, you can definitely do that. Let me look at this real quick. If any question. Oh, 200% is good. Okay, thanks. I don't really know from what that is talking about, but we do have some training, and yes, it's a bit small. Okay, got it. All right, so let's look at this. You can create a welcome message. And if you create, so let's talk about what a welcome message is. And so I'll open up LinkedIn and show it to you. Matter of fact, you know what? We'll talk through it quickly and just hit on the main items. So, a welcome message is what happens when someone connects with you. Do you just leave it alone and wait till they message you if ever? You know, there is a particular procedure that helps you convert that meeting in a way where that other person will vet themselves. And so we use Scoop to produce a video for that. But I'll give you a quick concept and then we'll go through it on in detail. If someone connects with me, once a day, I look at my new connections. I don't go to my messages. I go to my network and then my new connections or my connections. And my once I go to my connections, I'm able to see that in chronological order. And so I get between 10 and 30 a day, depending on some days less, some days more. If I turn everything off, if I don't do any activity, of course, it's less, right? And I've been doing that. I've been turning it off because of the event. So I don't want to overrun my LinkedIn activity. But the point is, say I'm getting 10, and I may look at those 10 people and I say, I have X amount of time to talk to the right person. I can tell by the picture, by the title, and I can right click and look at their profile to see if I want to send them a video. And I don't just send them a video, I send them 3 lines of text saying thank you, talk about them, and let them know that I created a welcome video for them. And the welcome video is candid. That means it's on the fly. It's not pre-rehearsed. You may have a segment of how to say it, and I'll walk you through that. But it does not. It's very short, so it's usually could be anywhere between 30 and 45 seconds long. And so candid videos are very good. So if the formula is if you have 3 lines of text, very short text for context, so they can just scan it and see what it's about. If you have the video where it has your face, they see you're in it, and you can title the video. So it's almost like a sandwich. And I found out that for me, I convert 20% of those to a vetted booked meeting based on what I'm saying and their interest level and that sort of thing. That's really high for one message. Just think about what is the conversion rate, not for a reply, but for a vetted booked meeting on a single message. It's usually between like 2 to 3%. So if you can increase all that to 20%, that means 1 out of 5 are guaranteed to book a meeting and they want to book a meeting with you. So creating a welcome message is one easy, powerful way to not just fill your calendar, but fill your calendar up with the right people. Let me take a look at any questions coming up there. Okay. So I'll bounce back here. Reply to your DMs. That's your direct messages, and that's pretty easy to do. And there's a couple of little tricks of the trade. Engage with your news feed with Scoop. Your news feed is when people are engaging with stuff or they're tagging you or engaging with your post, and that's another avenue of direct conversation. So on LinkedIn, there's really a couple of different ways to engage with people. I think there's 3 major ways. There's one is the posts. Two is your direct messages, and 3 are things like this, events. And of course, there's a lot more, but those are the 3 broad categories. And there's some crossover between a lot of them as well. And you have to think that where do I want to spend my time on engagement? So your news feed is that little icon on the top of LinkedIn, so that says notification. No, your news feed is on the homepage. Sorry. So your news feed is actually, I said it wrong. Your news feed is who you want to engage on your home feed. And then you have the notifications. So that was what I was referring to. So on the notifications, you'll have people that are interacting in your post or your engagement with your event, like Colin right there. He just called training on this live event right here. That's your news feed is the homepage, and then notifications is that icon. So I kind of reversed it. And the good thing about this guide is there's a video, so you can click the YouTube video, and it has training on that. So again, this is pretty helpful because you say, How do I create a welcome message? What's the best way to do it? How do I adjust my tone? How do I get in and get out so I can move to the next person? Because a welcome message should take, if it takes 45 seconds for the message, for the video, for the candid video, the message should take about 15 seconds, should be about 5 to 15 seconds to scan the picture and the title. And so you're looking at a total investment of about a minute and a half up to 2 minutes per individual. Now, think about that. If you were sending a thoughtful message to someone, it would take you 2 minutes or more. Well, this way is actually the same amount of time or less, if you set it up right. And someone may say, well, you got to think about the 3 lines or 4 lines first, Troy. Well, not if you create a pre formatted welcome message, and Scoop has those features kind of built in. And I'll walk you through that. And you can click a button and you have a pre formatted message, which you can change based on the particulars of that individual. The fourth item is reply for notifications, to notifications, and we just talked about that. That's your post. The fifth item is posting and scheduling of personal branding material. This is a service that we do for our clients. Again, posting content that's equal to, in the same vein as your brand, is very important. And then how to create posts are actually really important too. um, their posts are just in general categories. They're, what I like is to produce a post that solves a problem, but the problem usually wants to be very simple, and the solution can be done in 3 to 5 steps or something like that. 5 steps to fix this. The other one is usually about mental health. That's really big. And the other one is really about networking, unity, and that sort of thing. And I throw family in there as well. And so a lot of my Friday posts end up um, being thankful and having an air of gratitude. And so I kind of bounce back between helpful posts and functional posts and gratitude. Another thing is your ICP, your ideal client prospect or profile, excuse me. Pre-engage means, how do I talk to this person before I connect with them? Because I want to increase my acceptance rate, say from 30% acceptance on my connection request all the way to 80%. And so we'll touch on that today. There are certain techniques, and it really is about engaging with their post prior and having a conversation prior. And I'll get into that a little bit later. Campaigns and outreach. This is a larger category. So you may have a manual campaign, you may have some automation or something that goes out on a regular basis. You may have a mixed thing for that as well. I always say, set up if you're interested in developing a campaign, just schedule some time with me on my booking link on my LinkedIn profile, and I'll walk you through the possibilities of that. Engage with your Dream 100. Now, this is very similar to pre engagement functionally, but the purpose is much different. When you engage with your Dream 100, you may be engaging on your 100 influencers in order to engage with the people there because they may be your market, or you can engage with your potential clients and then drive business through there. And you have to really think on strategy on why you're doing that and how you're doing it. And if you are engaging with your ICP, you have to remember that the best way to convert is to provide value. So you generally don't want to sell anything unless it's a low ticket item, because something like Scoop is kind of a yes or no thing. It's like, it's not very expensive. But when you're building a higher profile or a higher value type of relationship, you want to figure out how to solve their problems beforehand. And that actually builds into trust value. So everything builds up in trust. You just got to figure a way out to try to figure out how to reduce the time to build that trust. And video is one of those techniques. Attending events. and then a virtual event management. So attending events could be online events because you guys are attending this event, and there's strategies about attending events that are pretty keen. And I'll give you one example. There are 400 and about 450, 60, I don't know how many people that registered for this event. And if you go to the event, you can see the network of people. You have the ability to engage with that person. And so attending an event has network capability. If it's a Zoom, you also have the ability to, give your LinkedIn details. You have access in other ways. So it depends on the type of event, but you always have a networking opportunity there to do it. So we have a big group of people. We have some shared interest, and what you're doing, if it has something to do with shared interest, and you can partner with that person, or that person could be a client. It's very beneficial. So people they hardly ever really take advantage of that. There are virtual event management. That's what we do for clients. So you can see that we have close to, I don't know, 460 or 50 people that signed up for this event. We did that in 4 weeks. And so we help other clients build up their events to make sure they're guaranteed to get at least 150 to 700 people in per event. And what that does, it includes people able to get their email. It opens up other opportunities. I personally always get sales. So and I'll just be very direct on it. And I don't sell for the most part. I just allow people to buy. This event may be a little bit different because I have a particular product that integrates into the system, and you don't have to use it. It's just easier to use it. You can use whatever product you want. Um, Research your ideal client profile. Yeah, so we actually had a post the other day, but there's sometimes you need to stop and you need to actually research or adjust your research. So you have a campaign, for example, and you have a new target market. You have to stop and figure out what does this target market do? What do they need? How should we speak to them? And how we can provide value to those individuals. So that's something of that. So these are all different groups of stuff. And again, what you can do is you're just going to select and get rid of the ones you don't want for that particular day. So the concept is really simple. You have a start date, say 9 a.m. or whatever it is. Start time, excuse me. So let's go ahead. I'll go ahead and check for any questions on this here. Too much buffering. Okay, I'm not sure what that means. Maybe I'm not getting to the point fast enough. Oh, so Kevin, your core is AI strategic planning, SEO. Great. Oh, thanks for providing your link, Joel. Slow connection. Dr. Jose is saying he's having a connection issue. I thought I was slow. I was a little slow on that. And then Franny's asking a link to the video. I don't know. We're watching the video right now, so maybe I need a better explanation of that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and see what people want to talk about. I'm going to talk about the first one, and then I'll let people vote on the others. Okay, and there will be a replay, Fanny. All right, so the first one I'm going to talk about is how to create a welcome message. And you don't have to use Scoop, but I'll show you how to use Scoop. The concept will still work without Scoop. But we have reply to DMs, reply to notifications on your post, engage with your news feed, engage with your Dream 100, pre-engage with your ideal client prospect, campaigns and outreach. We probably won't do that. That's a bigger animal. Creating posts, virtual event management. I can do a high level on that. Attending events, research your ideal client profile. So I will go ahead and go through this, but let's vote. So if the people want to say they want to talk, when we can vote on two. If they want to say reply to DMs, type in reply to DMs. If you want to say reply to notifications on your post, go ahead and type that in. you want to say, if you want to go through engage with newsfeed post. So go ahead, you get the idea. I'll zoom this in. And what I'm going to do is, I can't do it. Can I do 250? Oh, the maximum I can increase this is 200. So sorry if maybe I can make it bold or something. Maybe it's easier to read. So go ahead. I'll go ahead and give you about 15 seconds to decide. Matter of fact, let's make it easy. You can type and reply to DMs or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we won't have welcome. We'll get rid of that to avoid confusion. So if you want to talk about one of these, we will. Yeah, we'll just have enough time to talk about one. And just vote for the number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. So type in one of those numbers, and the one that has the most number we'll go ahead and talk about. I'll go ahead and give you like 10 more seconds, and we'll take a look at the vote. All right, so let's see what we got going on here. Oh, we got some votes coming in. DMs, direct messages. 6, 4, 1, 4, 6. Got 6, 6 twice. Oops, 5. Oh, correct. 4. All right, we got, I think 4, 10, 6, 6 and 4. So let's go ahead and go to 6 and 4. Campaigns and outreach, and 4 is engage with your dream 100. All right, so let's do these. Let's do 4 and 6. All right. And so I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about first is the welcome message. And we'll go back to 4 and 6. We'll ask for questions for each one of those. Now, the welcome message is this right here is once someone connects with you. So I'll walk you through a scenario, right? So I'm on the home page here. And this great guy, by the way, you should connect with him. Really good coach, Robert Collier. All right, so what I end up doing is people say, "Well, these people have sent messages to me, right?" And I'll reply to them, but that's not necessarily who has connected with you. And so you want to go somewhere else. You want to number one, set up a welcome message. And this is Scoop, by the way. This is my application. And I have all these predetermined messages. These are my personal messages. One of them is a welcome video, right? And so I have a basic message, and it's only 3 lines. Very, very simple. It's not going to be a novel or anything like that. So this is one thing to really understand. Generally, people don't like a lot of text on LinkedIn DMs unless it's something they ask for specifically. If they say, "Hey, I want, I attended your event. I want information on A, B, and C." Even then, I try to keep it simple whenever possible, or send them a PDF or a link and a one-liner. But if you write a novel, people won't read it. They'll ignore it. You're wasting your time, and you took a long time to write it. And so this is a general message, and all these are general messages. Like someone, I have a Scoop specific link. I do a lot of IT stuff. Did stuff for Coca-Cola, enterprises, Xbox Mobile, a lot of apps, and this app right here as well. So I have thousands of projects underneath my belts. And someone says, "Hey, I'd like to take a look at your portfolio." I look for Scoop distributors. I have an affiliate system that gives you a large percentage. So it all depends on the conversation. I just want a 20-minute conversation with them. Someone sends me a spammy message, and this is my reply. So I have a 2-page on my LinkedIn accelerator system. That's my white glove, high-end, high-value offer, And so if I click on that, it'll end up filling it in here and have a link to the PDF. So you get the idea. This is a repeatable message that you can create your own thing on. So the first thing I do is create my message, and I didn't spend much time on it. And then I'm going to go to my network. And then I'm going to go to manage my network to my connections, right? So all these people have connected with me. And I don't have anything running right now, but I still have in the last days, the day's not even over. In the last day, I've probably have about 20, I don't know, 110, 20 to 25 people. So by the end of the day, I'll have about 30 people that have connected with me, right? But I do not want to reply to these people, any of these people that have connected me, unless they've connected from over 24 hours. Sometimes some of them will reply and all this other stuff, but my goal, my task right now is to send a connection message, right? And so what I'll do is I'll go back at least a day. If it's Monday, I'll go back 3 days because I don't really do a lot of checking on Saturday and Sunday. And so you see one day here. So Jonathan Levy, he's a business owner, charity leader, disability camp. So fundraising assessor, right? So he may have some information on, hey, how to raise, I don't know, I'll make it up, funds for my Scoop application. I don't need funds for it, but let's pretend I did. You know, Kimberly, Ralph, he's already messaged me, and what I did was I sent him a connection request. I sent him a welcome message. And let's see, Karina. So let's look at her. Great shot, international business and marketing. Let me look at her profile. And so you notice I right clicked on it. I looked at her, and the banner's not really telling me much. And I probably, she has a good network. Okay, she's a general manager, and I may even look at her company, right? And so I don't know what she does. Let's go ahead and just create a welcome video for her, right? All right, so I'm on this page here, and so I hit the message part, right? And it comes up, and here we can send to any of these people here. I'm gonna close these other people because they're just sending me messages. And I'm gonna click on Karina because I have a tab. Whenever you have a tab or you're on their profile page, it will show up, and you're able to use this for DMs, comments on posts. So you can actually send a video in a comment. So this is a new feature that we built. It's not really inherent to LinkedIn, but we have the ability to do that. It could be a voice memo, it could be an animated GIF, but for here, let's go ahead and make a video. So I'll just type in Karina, right? And usually I add something specific to them. So I see you have close to 9K connections. Nice, right? So I'm saying that I looked at her profile, so she gets, oh yeah, I do have 9. Okay, great. And I'll say, I made this welcome video specifically for you. Feel free to reply if it's worth engaging for you further. Now, we're using the camera on Restream, and so the cameras may fight, so we'll just figure it out because I didn't test this before because usually I don't have multiple cameras running. But I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and it may grab the other camera. Let's go ahead and see what cameras we have here. We have the ProStream and the JLab here, and we're going to have a vertical mode, all right? And I'm doing this very slowly, but usually I would have like boom, 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 get through, get the next person and get through, right? But I'll just go ahead and click this here. Hi, Karina. Thank you for connecting. I really do appreciate it. And I looked at your profile. I see that you have like 9K connections. That's a great job there. And I'm not sure how I can help you. I'm more of a LinkedIn developer. I help people convert here on LinkedIn. But Karina, I do also have a very good network. If you had time, and only if you had time, feel free to take a look at my LinkedIn profile. And if you see any dots to connect there, feel free to send me your booking link, and I'll schedule some time with you on your booking link. I'm always open for a conversation. All right. Thank you very much. Have a great day, and hopefully we'll be able to talk soon. And that was a little long, about 50 seconds, but you get the idea. And so I create the video. It's implanted here. I also want to change the name, right? I want to pull her out. Kind of thank you so much for the connection, right? And so it embeds it in there. And so what it does is adds that in there, and I'll just hit send because I already have her checked on it. And you can send to multiple people if you want, but it doesn't make sense if you're sending one-on-one for this particular scenario. All right. And so what we did was we added a message, a thank you, and the scoop. So sometimes it takes a moment for the scoop stuff to kind of show up. And so what we'll do is we'll just wait and take a look at her message a little bit later. Yeah, there you go. It pops up. So it usually takes like 2 to 5 seconds for LinkedIn to catch up. But let's look through this this structure here, and feel free to ask questions because right after this, I'll look at the questions. I have hi Karina. Thanks for being connected and welcome to the network. I see you have close to 9,000 connections, 10K connection. Oh, see, and I can even edit it as well. So have close and so you can fix it as well, and maybe I only want one space on it, whatever you want, right? When you save it, it doesn't really affect it. But what we have is a sandwich. We have enough information for context, and this videos count as content, and the title is context. It's like a sandwich. And so this right here converts a lot better. And what happens is they look at it, they say, oh, they called me by name. Oh, it's a real person. It's not a bot. And it looks like a video, and it has my name in it as well. And so you're adding levels of comfort for them to click this, right? And so when you open this up, you have a video. Now let's look at this. You have the title, it has her name on it. You have a nice video, and the quality of that. Okay, I'll kill the volume on that. The quality of the video is really good. As good as your camera. It's off your desktop, and I have a built-in booking meeting. So they click on this. Scoop has that built in, and so we do everything you can to increase the possibility of them saying, you know what, I really want to talk to this person. And you've also noticed my video itself. I talked about them. I thanked them. I just mentioned what I did. And my only ask was to take a look at my profile. Matter of fact, I said if there's any dots to connect or anything of interest, send me your booking link. So I put the ball in their court because the ask should never be more than the relationship. I'll go ahead and move over here for questions. All right. Lisa wants Scoop. All right. Matt wants to try Scoop. Apologies, I have joined late. I am here. That's okay, Deborah. Deborah, I think already uses Scoop. I'm not sure. Um, David has, yeah, this is personalization on another. Thank you, David. Appreciate it. You really have to be sincere. Again, your ask should never be more than the current relationship. So let's examine that current relationship here. Let me turn this other one off. Is there X on there? Hide. There you go. All right. So let's talk about relationships. What is that current relationship? Well, number one, they connected with me or I connected with them. Number two, they didn't send a message. I waited at least 1 day, and three, I can just go down the list. Do I want to send a video? Do I not want to send a video? It doesn't really take long. It took longer because I was explaining it. But if I wasn't, I'll be in and out in probably 60 to 90 seconds. Other people maybe 2.5 minutes. And so when I created a video, I have a skit where I generally thank them. I talk about them. I might mention something about myself if there's a connection, and I just tell them look at my profile. And my profile is pretty good. And so they're looking at that and say, oh, he's a great network and that sort of thing. And so I always want to lead with some kind of value on that. And my ask, I did make an ask. I said, look at my profile. And but I did connect with him and I created a video. So I would say that's pretty equal. It's you're not going overboard on your ask on there. So that's a very important thing. And that actually gets about a 20% conversion. It would get higher, but not everyone sees LinkedIn DMs. So that's how we use that system to create a welcome video. Now, there's a lot of other features about Scoop, but I just don't want to go through it. If you want it, if you want Scoop, I'll give it to you, and we have a separate meeting on all the different features. It does video in different formats. It does voice memos, animated GIFs, stored messages. So it's really designed to drive business. That's really what it is. Now, you could use something else. You could use, YouTube, but then you have to upload it, and you don't have the built-in messages. You can use Loom, same difference. And they don't have the built-in booking links and all the customization features. So this is really streamlined for LinkedIn first. It works anywhere. It works on Gmail. It works on any other site, but it's specifically designed for LinkedIn first. Okay, so if anyone has any questions on that, definitely shoot some questions. The more activity is get closer to the winning person that gets that free lifetime license of it. All right. So we're gonna move on. I'll just wait a second for questions, and I'm gonna take a sip of my bad habit because I don't do any drugs, and I'm not dating right now. So this is the only thing I have as far as the bad habit. That's good stuff, though. All right. So the second thing we talked about was we had 4 and 6 on that. So engage with your Dream 100 and campaigns and outreach. Okay. So there's different ways to outreach. So some people have campaigns, but they usually refer to DM campaigns. Oh, I'm not sharing the screen, duh. Let me push the right button. Replace, stop sharing, or I hit it. Okay, let me play screen sharing. And it's not showing the screen here. Must be a little. Yeah, it looks like we have a little bug in the software here. I did push hide, but I don't know how to show. There's not a show screen. Oh, I'll just stop it and reshare it. How about that? That might work. There you go. All right, so I'm going to switch this around again so you can see this. Okay, so the other item that we want to talk about really is engage with your dream or campaigns and outreach. Let's talk about campaigns and outreach. There's a lot of different things that you can do. So I guess I can stop sharing that. But what about Doodle Post? Kevin, your bad habit is Dr. Pepper Zero. Isn't Zero have the Asper cream? I think you should just drink the sugar. And I don't know what a Doodle Post is. Kevin, can you tell me what a Doodle Post is? I don't really know what that is. And I'll just go ahead and stop this screen share. And we're going to talk about campaigns. There are a lot of different campaigns that you can do. There's campaigns that you can do on your post, and there's campaigns you can do for your direct messages, and there's marketing campaigns, right? But usually when people say campaigns, they tend to talk about the direct message, the little LinkedIn Messenger campaign. So they do a connection invite, and then they have a series of messages. And there are automated platforms and there's manual platforms. LinkedIn does not like automation. So if you have a very good automation platform, don't tell anyone because LinkedIn doesn't like it. But most people can tell automation. So if you send several messages in a row that are exactly the same, they can kind of sniff it out. So you send a connection invite, and then you have the spiel, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 messages and stuff. And that's really frowned upon on LinkedIn because the way LinkedIn is designed, LinkedIn stacks messages. versus if you get an email, you can get separate emails or whatever, right? And you have to, so email, you have to send them at least 3 or 4 times. Well, in a campaign, I like to send 2 messages, maybe a third if I absolutely have to. And so I don't really like sending too many messages. And the messages have to have a tone that would be more acceptable. So what I dislike is when someone sends me something with a whole bunch of links and bullet points and pricing and all that. That's more of a sales pitch. And that's not really a good way of communicating. So just to give you a high level on campaigns, I use Sales Navigator. You can use the regular search, but I have a certain ICP. Mine are B2B, individuals to companies up to 200. And then so LinkedIn is really good for small to medium sized businesses. LinkedIn's not so great for connecting decision makers on people that have companies over 1,000. If they're over 1,000, you usually have to take some additional steps and approach the people that are on LinkedIn, because those owners or those decision makers with those large companies, they're not very active on LinkedIn, but their people are. And so you may have a different strategy. And on LinkedIn Sales Navigator, what you end up doing, targeting your ideal, client prospect. So you have to figure out who that is. Who's the person that I can engage with or eventually be a client or be a partner with, whatever your goal is. And then once you connect with that person, that's when that welcome message comes in, the welcome message that we just did. And after the welcome message, if they don't answer, what would be a next best message to send out? And then your cadence, distance. So say I send a welcome message, I may not want to send another message for 3 or 5 days or whatever it is, to give them breathing room. And so you may have a welcome message, one follow up, and potentially another one. It really depends on who your market is and that sort of thing. And after the LinkedIn, most of my clients roll the email, and so they'll roll 3 emails up afterwards, and so that covers a lot of the gap, because most people are actually email people. So you end up connecting with them, approaching them where a network where you actually connected already, and then you roll off to email. And there's a lot of different things you can do, but those messages that you're sending them should have some value to them. And so and the important thing to know is what's valuable to us may not necessarily be valuable to them. And so usually if you can identify a pain that can be solved, that's usually some value. If you can provide some entertainment or something of interest to build that relationship. So let's talk about the video. There is a value to video because a candid video is novel, it's brand new. And number one is new. Number two, it's a real person. Number three, you're not selling on the video. Number four, it's short. And people have a very short attention span. They want to take a look at it. They want to know what the video is about before they click on it. And ours is only one click. So other systems that have links that go outside of LinkedIn, a lot of times are 2 clicks, and LinkedIn gives a warning page. And if you have anything that has a warning page and you just met them, you've killed all your conversion. They need 1 click to get where they need to go. And so that's the value of that one message. They see that value. They're like, oh, okay, great. I'll take a look at it. And they look at my profile. I have a very good profile. Like, oh, okay. He does have a lot of cancer, or he does this, and if they're interested, they're going to say, hey, let's talk. If they're not, they're going to just move on, and that's fine. And your second message has to have some kind of value. And so I have the Scoop application. And so I said, hey, I'm actually, for certain segments of the market, I may say I'm looking for feedback on this, and I'll give you a free license for 30 days for your feedback. And that actually builds a little trust, and it gets them something for free, and it solves some of their issues. So you get the idea. Now you can definitely move from LinkedIn to email, or move from a post to LinkedIn, a DM to email. So different ways you can do it, and you have to be kind of proactive on what's appropriate for that market and that stuff. I got a couple questions here. Jan says, is there a recording There is. I missed the beginning. No problem. Just go to the same page after this and it will replay. Do you do local sessions? I have a timeshare in Las Vegas and I need reasons to go. Yeah. Is your timeshare an office? Hopefully. Yeah. Kevin, I don't know much about timeshares. So they have timeshare offices over there, or if it's a house, maybe you're thinking about getting a session together. Sure, I do. I do training all the time. I'm more of a very direct person, so I will not try to smooth your feelings. I'll try to get you the solution you want. And so those clients that really just need to fix a problem, they love me. Says, okay, Troy, give me the answer to what's this and this for this type of scenario. Kevin, feel free to book some time with me, 20 minutes, and I'll go ahead and do that. And I think that's all the time we have for today. And so what I'm going to do is lay out a couple of things there, and I will create a post probably tomorrow or Friday on who's the winner of getting the free lifetime version of Scoop. But if you want a free 30-day, unlimited 30-day, again, type in Scoop. If you want the guide that I showed you, type in guide. If you want to meet me, just say meet Troy. And if you want to see the next event, that's one thing I'll show you right now. And Lisa, if you can, go ahead and give the link to the next event. And I'll go ahead and see if I can find that event real quick. And I will. Too many buttons here. I'll go to my events. And I just launched this the other day, and this is the second half of the class. We'll talk about different aspects of it, but it's Masterclass 2. I just posted it yesterday and I already got like 78 people on it. So feel free to go ahead, go to my profile, to my activity and events. And this is the next one. And it's about a month away. So definitely let me know. That makes Oh, it says August 28th. This is August. Oh, it is August 28th. That's what 8 means. So that's correct. Thank you very much, everyone. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay live. Go ahead and kill this one here. I'm hide that. I'm going to stay live for 5 minutes for anyone that has any questions on this at all. But the goal and the reason for being here is, how do I create a daily process? Well, it's really about booking some time or scheduling a time. Monday to Friday is either 30, 60, or 90 minutes. Understanding what tasks have the most value input that will convert into business, sales, relationships, or whatever it is that you're trying to do, and just be diligent by doing those things. And so that document kind of gives you options on what to do, what generally works really, really well. And of course, book some time with me. I have a Scoop option on my calendar link. You take that one, and then you'll end up in my Tuesday and Thursdays meetings, and we can go through any scenarios with Scoop, daily process, what tends to work in other environments. Feel free. All right. So, thank you, everyone. Got some good people saying great session. All right, so it's awesome speaking to you guys and gals, and I will go ahead and reply. And remember, if you're not connected with me, it's going to be harder for me to send a message. So send a connection invite to me and say I was on the event with you, and I'll go ahead and accept it. And then anyone who asks for the Scooper guide or any of the options, we'll go ahead and reply to them on DM. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have an